everybody. Hello, how are you all? I hope you're all well. I hope you're having a fantastic week. Happy Wealth Wednesday if you're here in Australia. This is the day that we practice paying it forward and giving back to our community. I hope you are all well and you're coping with staying indoors. As you're hopping on, say hello, tell me where you're coming in from, how your week's been. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Elsa Morgan. I'm a wife, I'm a mum, and I also have a global home business. I love inspiring people. I love kicking people's butts. Also, not figuratively, not actually. I'm someone that is on a mission to inspire, create, to be able to motivate people and show them that, hey, this is a great opportunity to work on things that you've been putting on for some time, especially if you've got some more time at home. Now is the time to be able to step forward and actually get it done. I've achieved quite a fair bit in the last 30 days, so I'm really, really excited. But I wanted to talk to you today about raising your standard, because so many people ask me. I coach people in their home businesses and they want to know, how do I go the next level? How do I actually level up? And it's not something that you just instinctively know. It's something that you need to develop. But it's also something that people, once they find out what they need to do, they shy away from it, because it does require a fair bit of work and commitment to actually get it done, to actually level up, to actually raise your standard. And of course, guys, let me just say, if you feel like someone could use this, by all means, share. Sharing is caring. Sharing also means that you don't grow hair on your chest. And you don't, grow hair out of your ears as well, because, you're actually sharing away. So you're not keeping it all to yourself. That's a joke. I've lost someone from saying that. Can you believe that? That's funny. Anyway, where's people's sense of humor? Anyway, so grab a pen and paper and let me share with you what it means to actually raise your standard. Here's 4 ways that you can raise your standard. And yes, I am missing some nails. Look, this is what happens when there's a pandemic happening around the world and you can't go visit your nail technician. You have 2 nails on and then 3 nails off. Oh well. Anyway, number 1, create a compelling vision for yourself. So basically, set out what it is that you want to do with your life. What is it that you want to do? A lot of people say they want to do something, but they don't know what it is for, right? So for me, this is going to sound a little bit radical, but I've actually set out a 10-year plan. Like, I've actually worked out where I want to be by 2030, and I've actually reverse engineered part of that journey, and I'm working towards achieving it. Right, so where do you want to be in 10 years' time? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Where do you want to be in 3 years' time? Where do you want to be in 2 years' time? You need to know where you want to go in order for you to get your bearings in order, right? And so once you understand where you're going, you automatically set yourself apart from everyone else, because so many people don't know what they want to achieve in life. I talk to people and I say, what do you want to do with your life? I don't know. They say to me, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know, what there is to do. But by you knowing, you already know what you need to do. You already know how far you need to go. You already know how long it's going to take you, right? So for me, this being, 2020, the start of a new decade, hey, great time to, reverse engineer where you want to be in 2030 and reverse engineer it and, map out a framework of how to actually achieve it. So that's number 1. Number 2, create some leverage, meaning determine your why. You need to actually figure out why you want to do this. And it can't just be because of your family. It can't just be because you want to retire your spouse, right? There has to be something more meaningful that's actually going to get you out of bed. So leverage your why to be able to push you, right? And so leverage the fact that your vision, right, is pushing you to actually get out of bed and actually get done, right? So that's really, really important. Hey, SMK, how you been? Hope you're well and the kiddies are doing all good and you're keeping safe over there as well. So it's really, really important that you have to have a strong reason why you're going to follow through. Why are you doing this? Why is this important to you, right? So once you determine what it is that you're going to be doing, number one, number two is why you want to do this, right? And like I said, it has to be something that is going to definitely get you to jump out of bed. Because, you know, when you've got a big vision, it means that you actually have to sacrifice. It means it's going to require effort. It means that you're going to have to get up early and maybe stay up late. You know, it means that you can't always be, right? You can, but it might take a little bit longer, I'm just saying, right? Number three, what is your standard? You've got to set your standard. Like, what's the minimum that you're going to be doing every single day? I have a standard. I have a set DMO. Like I have 2 DMOs, believe it or not. I know this, I'm actually giving you one of my hacks, my life hacks. I have 2 DMOs, daily method of operations. I have my minimum DMO, which means the absolute minimum that I will do on any given day. So, you know, life can happen, you know, my kids might be sick, I might be sick, I've been sick this week. What is my minimum DMO? And I know that that's my minimum. And then I have my stretch DMO. Like when I'm in the groove and I'm in the zone and I'm on fire and, you know, everyone's responding and everyone's saying yes. And, you know, like you're just fisty pumping and you just, oh man, bring it. Stretch DMO, like you're on fire, you're vibrating really high and you're just going, yeah, man, I'm going to conquer the world. That's the stretch DMO, right? But I have also a minimum, like what's my absolute minimum that I must hit, and I do not go to bed before I hit that DMO. Like I must hit that DMO, right? And that is the way that I've trained myself. That's my discipline. That's how I get the best out of me. Like if I just rock up to my desk and I go, I'm going to do this. I feel like I'm going to do that. I'm not going to achieve what I want to achieve. So I know where I want to go. So I've set my minimum. And that is my standard, right? That is my minimum standard of what I'm going to do to work towards my vision. And I do not go to bed until I hit that. That is just like hardcore ingrained into my head. My vision is like a ruthless dictator that will just dominate my thoughts, that if I do not hit this, then it's going to take me an extra month to get there, right? And so that is how I train my brain, that I must complete what I have to do to actually get to where I want to go, right? And the last one is, what are you willing to sacrifice? And this is super important to understand, right? Thank you. What are you willing to sacrifice? Because a lot of people do not want to sacrifice anything. Like, it's like, for example, you want to lose 10 kilos, but you want to eat your McDonald's and your cake as well. Like, hello, that does not happen, right? You want to fit into your size 6 jeans, but you also want to eat pizza every single night. It's just not going to happen, people. You're not going to, decide that you get into, medicine and you can start practicing medicine on day one. It just doesn't happen. You need to make some sacrifices, right? You need to give something up to get something back, right? It's just like law of the universe, right? You just have to make some sacrifices to be able to make way for new stuff. Now, from an energy perspective, for my spiritual listeners out there, when you do actually give something up, what tends to happen, and you actually, dedicate that time that you would have used for whatever it is that you're giving up, you then dedicate that to your vision, right, to make it happen. What tends to happen is that automatically you are leveling up. Automatically you are giving out signals to the universe that you want to change your life. So I just want to give you a bit of a heads up. When that happens, when you make a big shift like that, because that is a bit of a shift, right? What the universe will tend to do is say, oh, Sarah May wants to actually change her life. Okay, well, let me just put this big fat obstacle in front of her right now. I'm going to put this obstacle right there, And let's see if she can get around it or under it or over it. Let's just see what she does. Or does she just stand still right there, right? And so the universe will do that. When you start making sacrifices and you commit to going all in, this is what happens. This is what happens, right? And so, and a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people think, oh, this has happened. That means it mustn't be the way that I need to go. Like, oh, it's not meant to happen, you know, not meant to be. It's not meant for me. But it's not, that's not the way that it works. What happens is your resolve gets tested. The universe is testing your resolve to see how badly do you want it, right? And so many people just stop right there and then go back and sit down and keep watching Netflix because they go, oh no, it's too hard. Like, I was going to give this up, but no, I'd rather keep watching, you know, Tiger King. I don't even know what that is, but I keep seeing this, right? So I'm just going to quote it. I'll just keep watching Tiger King, right? Because this has appeared, right? Rather than going over it or going under it or going around it or trying to figure out how you can overcome that obstacle, right? So I just want to give you a heads up because so many people get that confused, right? That an obstacle appears mustn't meant to be. It is meant to be. But honestly, no one has ever succeeded or been at the top of their game by simply going straight like that. Like no one's decided, hey, I'm going to climb this hill, right? And then just miraculously just landed there. It doesn't happen. To get to the top of a hill, you need to climb up the hill. Right? And climbing up the hill requires a lot of effort, requires a lot of energy. You need to make sure that you're fit. You need to prepare yourself. So why not you? Like, what makes you so special to think that you too have to make some sacrifices, that you too have to put in the work, right? So don't go making goals or wanting to raise your standard without realizing that it requires the work, that requires the effort, and that it's not going to happen overnight. In fact, it's going to take some time because not only are you working towards something that is going to change your life and many other people's lives, but you also need to reprogram years and 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 years of programming, not just your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind, which rules everything. Right? And so I just want you to know that raising your standard and setting goals and committing to something is only one small piece of the puzzle, right? And you've got so many other things that come into play. But I do get asked the question, how do I go the next level? How do I raise my standard? You know, how do I go? What do I need to do to start that process? I'm giving you the framework. So just to recap, number one, create a compelling vision of where you want to go. Like where, for example, where do you see yourself in 2030? Like for myself and Olaf, we've actually reverse engineered from 2030 where we want to be, right? And we started making things happen, right? Number two, create some leverage. Determine why you want to do this. And it just can't be about your spouse, right? It has to be something that is going to get you out of bed. Like who loses if you don't play big, right? Who loses? Who are the people that will not benefit because you decided that this is too much? Like, and who benefits if you do win, right? Like for me, it's going to be all the homeless kids in Africa, and it's going to be all the women that are going to be inspired by my vision, because I'm all about empowering women who have no voice or feel like they have no voice, or who've come from third world countries, have come just like I have. I was born in Argentina and I had, 2 dining chairs as my bed in the first 18 months of my life. I want to inspire people like me to show them that they can change their life, right? Number 3. What is your standard? Like, what's the absolute minimum that you will commit to making this happen every single day? Like I said, I don't go to bed unless I hit at least my minimum DMO. I've got 2 DMOs. And if you want to know what the other one is, you can watch the replay. And number 4, what are you prepared to sacrifice? Like, can you sacrifice Tiger King? Can you sacrifice an entire season of Ozarks to make this happen? because if you can, then you're well on your way. But you can watch Netflix, but it's just going to take a little bit longer. You just have to understand that actually changing your life requires work. Raising your standard requires work. It requires work from an actual physical point of view and doing the activity, but also reprogramming your mind, reprogramming all the years of conditioning that you've had as well. So guys, I hope that inspires you. And of course, you can catch more content like this on my podcast, The Queenie Effect, hashtag The Queenie Effect. You can also hop onto my website. I've got my blog going, elsamorgan.com, and I'll be coming back to you tomorrow with day 20 of day 30. Thank you so much for hopping on, and I'll catch you tomorrow. See you, SM Gay. Bye.